Hi, you guys. Oh boy. Man, oh man. I've gotten on this weird schedule again. So, yesterday I was working on doing some collaging just on some file folder and stuff like that, just using like printed text. And so, what I've started doing with this kind of stuff, just to sort of I don't know, it kind of like deepens the color just a little bit. I've been just spraying it with like a matte clear coat, and I kind of like what it does, and it sort of like stabilizes the paper a little bit. You can't really tell that, it's been sprayed. Um, and I don't have the can with me, so I can't show you exactly the one that I'm using, but any clear coat, like, spray, like spray paint, clear coat, like a satin or a matte finish, even a semi-gloss would work. Yeah, so I just been, I just sprayed these last night, and I think what I'm gonna do with these is basically just cut them into some tag shapes, just to give people sort of like a base that they can work on. I'm not going to take the time to try to embellish all of these tags, that I do sometimes, I do try to keep the cost of my journals to a reasonable amount too. The more work, the more days I put in, that definitely will make them more expensive. But anyway, so yeah, so I've done quite a few of these. I actually think I did 8 altogether. And then I have a bunch of this paper. You guys might remember seeing this. I bought a ledger from Louise at Forever French that was from an olive oil company, and these are all copies of their like receipts on like an onion skin paper, and it's real thin. It's not exactly tissue, but it's pretty thin, and it has just this really cool writing on it. Like, some of the writing is just very, very faint, but once you glue it down to something that has some sort of background, okay, you can just see it sort of coming through. And especially if you then spray it with that clear coat, like I said, that I did the other ones with. So that's what I've done on some of those boards. These are just, just the text, and then I've glued a thin layer of this paper over the top. So I was thinking, if you want to try to do this, it's you could use any kind of like decoupage, tissue or something, or rice paper or whatever, something that's just really thin. And then if you spray it with that clear coat, it makes it so that the background pops out still, and it sort of makes the tissue, pushes it back, and then it also brings out the writing on this paper. And so I haven't done that with like any of the Tim Holtz tissues or anything, but I'm pretty sure that it would do the same thing. So, it'd be something fun to kind of play around with. And then I've just been cutting these into some different, tag shapes. So just different sizes, just playing around. So I'm going to work on those. And then I did do the same thing with some of the collage based pages that I did. They're just done on that. This is from a large scrapbook, this paper. And then, I did just the plain papers, like with no writing on them, and then just glued a layer of that onion skin, like tissue type paper, over that and then sprayed it with that clear coat. And I just did one layer of the clear coat. Okay. So I just really like the way that turned out. And it kind of knocked down that purple that was in here, sort of took it down a notch, you know. Anyway, so I'm cutting those up. And then I also have a whole bunch of just like documents that I got from her, where the paper is just extremely fragile and it's just, you know, it's just like crumbling away. And so I wanted to sort of stabilize that and try to use some of those as tags, and just simply that paper glued onto some file folder. So that's what this is. So I just glued these down using my handy dandy glue stick, and then I sprayed them with that clear coat. And what it did was it really brought out the color in the paper, and it also kind of brought forward some of the print or the writing that's on the back. So I thought that looked kind of neat. So then I'm just going to cut these into tag shapes also. And yeah, so here's some other ones. These are ones that I've already cut apart. And so I thought these would just be fun to tuck into the pockets in these journals. So I'm going to cut some real small ones and just different sizes. So there's kind of like an assortment of different tags to put into these journals. So, you know, that's what I'll do. I'll just, you know, make a pile of these and get out my handy dandy scissors and just trim some of these corners, you know, and then I'll cut and do all, punch the holes. Oh, where is that hole punch? And I could, you know, embellish some of the tags, and I might do that just by adding a label, or like I said yesterday, maybe a little bit of stenciling or something like that with those little number stencils. But yeah, so I'll just do that. And then I also mentioned in the Happy Mail I got from Renee. Whoops. These aren't the ones, but she sent me a bunch of these reinforcements. So that's really cool. I love them. And I like them because they have a texture, like they're fabric, you know. So they're kind of like a lightweight canvas almost. And so to apply these, what I do is I just get a baby wipe that's really wet, and then I just dab it on there and stick this down and dab it again. And they just stick really well. And then sometimes I'll do one on the back. God knows how old these are, so I definitely don't want to be licking them. And this is just a lot easier than using glue, because the glue that's on these is really pretty strong. And then I'll probably round the corners and maybe just do some stitching around the edges, or maybe not, I don't know. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, just a whole big stack of those. And then tuck them into the pockets. So anyway, I might do some little toppers on some of them, like you know, just like some cotton string or something like that. And then the other thing, that before I put away all my like collage fodder that I used on these tags and on the covers, I just went through and I pulled out a bunch of pages from like the French dictionaries and the flower book and stuff like that, and I just folded those up to have at the ready when I'm ready to actually fill the journal. So I've got a nice little stack here for all 18 of them. And then the tags. So yeah, so I just wanted to do a quick little follow-up on that, because I think I'm going to try to finish these up tonight. And also I do want to say thank you guys for your comments on the last video. And I hope I didn't come across as though I was making fun of people wearing masks and stuff, because I definitely am not. Like, I don't know. I think I was commenting that I thought it was strange that people were wearing masks in their cars and stuff. I guess I just didn't really understand why, but I figure if you're wearing it, you might as well just keep it on, right? So anyway, I have actually had a couple people offer to make a couple of masks for me, and so I took them up on that, and I appreciate it, and I plan to start wearing one myself, because I think that it is the right thing to do, not just for myself, but for, you know, my family and for the rest of humanity. And I honestly think that that's really the only way we're going to be able to get back to some kind of adjusted normal, you know, and might as well get used to it. So, you know, I guess I don't, sometimes it's hard for people to accept certain things. And, you know, I live in Washington State, and Washington has done really, really well during this whole pandemic, but not perfect. You know, we've lost a lot of people, and it's not over. So especially when we start trying to go back to work and businesses start reopening and all that kind of stuff, I think it's going to be really important for us to all sort of get on board with protecting each other. So yeah, so I do plan to make some masks. I'm going to make some for my family and for my kids. And so I found a couple of patterns. Rosemary actually reached out to me and offered to make me a mask, and so I was really happy with that. She's so sweet, and thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate it. And so yeah, so I'm going to make some. But the other thing I want to do, I'm going to try to get these listed by Monday, I think, hopefully. I am just, what's the word? Chomping at the bit to do some felting. And I haven't done any felting for a long time. And I've started watching Sarah Renzulli. She does needle felting, and she also does some wet felting. And I wanted to do some journal covers, like some like Midori style journal covers, just with made out of felt. And so if that is something that any of you guys would be interested in playing along with, leave me a comment and let me know. And if there is some interest, then, you know, I can video my progress. I'm not an expert. I have done wet felting before on camera, like on a live stream. I haven't done it. I think I only did it one time, but I have some new supplies and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, it could be pretty fun, like to just see that process, and just another way to make some really pretty journal covers. So I'm thinking to make some about this size, you know, that are like refillable journal covers. So anyway, I'm kind of excited to get going on those. And so if anybody would like to see those, let me know in the comments. Or if you do felting and, you know, that's something that you've done before, I'd love to see that. So anywho, yeah, this is just a quick little video. I'm going to still do the charms. I've got these all ready to go and attach on the covers. And I think what I'll do also is just add in like a little assortment of different labels too into each journal, and who knows, maybe some other little surprises. So anyway, but thanks for tuning in, you guys. Everybody be safe out there. Thanks for your comments, and you know, for being civil. I appreciate it, and I do love you. And yeah, so I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye for now.